Well, welcome back to the off-road camper trailer. We're back in the little trailer. Um, we had an issue where the city gave us a tow notice for parking the big truck in front of its registered business. In other words, the business that we own, where the truck is registered to be and the business is located, they didn't like us, and it was only there 3 days. We were getting ready to move it when they showed up during business hours, and we were loading stuff in and out and put a tow notice on it. So I packed everything up in the trailer, put the trailer behind the truck, and was going to take it out to uh, the North Coast, Lower Columbia River area. Where I got a friend has a property I can store some stuff on, short term. On the way out there, the truck started acting a little weird. It was making some noises it had never made before, and since it's been completely flawless since we did the fuel system, um, I wasn't really sure what was going on, but I thought maybe it had developed an exhaust leak. And we made it about 2 miles down the road from when the noise happened, and it got really loud, a rattly, clunk, clunk, clack, clack, clack. All my gauges on the dash were reading right, assuming that they even work. And so I called for heavy rescue tow company, and buddy of mine came out and loaded it up on the flatbed, and we took it over to the nearest shop, which I've done business with their sister store. And my dad used to do business with them, so we know who they are. They're a reputable outfit. And we got in there, and they took a quick look at it, even without an appointment. They got it in really fast. They started up. At first, it wasn't making the noise, and then as they were asking me what noise it was making, it started making the noise. It turns out to be the water pump is toast. The whole pulley is moving in and out of the housing and rocking back and forth. It didn't throw the belt, and the truck never overheated, and the heater was working, surprisingly enough. But yeah, so they told me that if they can get the part, it'll be done tomorrow, and that's assuming that they don't find anything else wrong. But when I took the Jeep back over there to collect the little trailer, because obviously they're towing the big truck to their other shop, I had to go get the trailer. The truck was still there, and that was about 4 hours in. So I doubt very much they're going to have time to get it done by tomorrow. It's probably going to be 2 days. So I'm back in the little trailer. I just grabbed the bare necessities, so I don't even have power. Now, the trailer batteries were completely dead. I don't know if driving it around the last couple of days behind the truck charged them up or not. Kind of doubt it. Although my USB ports are lit up, so maybe there is some power in the system, or it's drawing off of the Jeep right now. But yeah, we're here in the Jeep, and I had to do this. Trailer hasn't been cleaned out or organized since we packed up the big trailer to go into storage. So that's like 9 months. Excuse me, not storage, to go get repaired. That's like 9 months. So I've got a lot of stuff in here that was Sign Girls, and maybe eventually she'll get this stuff. I don't know. I don't even know if she wants it, but it's stuff that was left behind when she left. So like this whole basket, and then this box is a bunch of organizational kitchen stuff that she just had to have for the big base camp trailer, and then didn't use all of it. So we've got things like Ziploc bags and green recycling bags, and these plastic things that you're supposed to put your condiments in so they stack and take less room in the refrigerator. I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff in there. 2 fire extinguishers, a bunch of the sticky back hooks, just a ton of stuff. So actually 3 fire extinguishers, another one right here. So, and then this black crate, this is all the setup stuff for the big base camp trailer. So like the wheel chocks, the dual rear wheel, or the dual trailer wheel clamps, the treatment for the black water tank, the hose adapters for the black water hose, and all the special tools for the trailer jacks and slides and all that stuff to work it all manually. That's all in there. So none of this technically goes in the little trailer, but I don't really have a better place to put it, so it's in here right now. So I'm in here for the night, probably 2 nights. But I wanted to mention, because I've seen 3 videos in the last 24 hours of people trying to decide how they want to build out their vans or their trailers. And, you know, I've been living in trailers and vehicles now for a little over 10 years. Actually, it's probably 11 years now. And this is what I have found to be the absolute most functional space. And that is, whatever space you have, you put your bedroll on half of it, and your bed should occupy 60% of your width. The other 40% of your width, you want all your gear storage, whether that is bins, whether that is dirty clothes hampers, whether that is milk crates, whether that is drawer systems, whatever. That's where all your gear goes. And then if you have any room at the either end of your foot, you can put additional gear. Like I have a toolbox, and I have one of my rolling suitcases, which is winter clothes. Because I'm out of laundry, so I'm digging into the old stuff. And then something else that's very, very handy, and we've had them on all of our trailers, is you want a floor mat velcroed to the floor with sticky back Velcro right next to your entry door. So when you come in, you're not tracking in tree needles and leaves and water and mold and mild. It goes onto the mat, which can be washed. Now this particular trailer, I do have a storage system here behind the bed. There's this cabinet here, which is loaded with these Front Runner flat pack bags. That's got all my clothes in it. Unfortunately, that's all summer clothes. I've got one shelf in there. This was rebuilt. You can go back on my videos on YouTube and watch me actually build this thing out, because what was here originally collapsed when they hung a very heavy inverter from an unsupported shelf. So right now I've just got a couple of the flat packs with some clothes in it stuffed up there, and then one of Sign Girl's pillows that she left behind from the big trailer is stuffed in the corner, and I got a couple more comforters stuffed up in there too. But a lot of vehicles and a lot of vans, a lot of trailers, you're not going to have that extra space. But basically you want 60% of your width to be your bed and 40% to be your storage. And don't forget to go vertical. You can stack stuff all the way to the ceiling as long as you can access it from the side. And what I always say is, you know, these plastic milk crates are dirt cheap and they're easy to come by. Put these things on their side and use them as shelving units. You take zip ties, zip tie them together, and then you can access everything that's in them from the front. And if you want, you can take bungee cord and run it through the front to hold things in. You know, you could get, you know, 4 high of those milk crates and go, you know, 3 or 4 long in most applications and have a ton of storage. And then everything is accessible. You can reach in and grab it. So that is the best way to do it. Now, if you have the length and you want to have a porta potty, I have this set up to where that toolbox is normally where my porta potty is, and that's because I have a wall vent right there. Normally the toolbox would be on this side, but the porta potty is in the Jeep right now, and so I just need to be in here. So if you want to have a porta potty, that is a great way. Now this trailer here, underneath the storage unit, is actually the side slide out for a slide out kitchen. Now we no longer have the slide in there. We've taken the refrigerator and the slide mechanism and all that out because I want to reorganize it and make it a lot more functional. But that is typically where my outdoor kitchen would be. We only had storage in there and then the fridge. We had our outdoor kitchen on the outside on a folding table. And if you you go back and look at any of my Instagram posts or my YouTube videos, you'll see there's a folding table behind the trailer. It has Sign Girl's multi-purpose oven and our Coleman cooktop top. And then usually underneath that, we would have our big black and yellow storage bin with all of our dry goods and pots and pans underneath that table. And then when we had 2 refrigerators, we also would put 1 refrigerator outside under that table and then plug it into the outside outlet. That way we had the fridge in the trailer, which was our freezer, and then the big dual zone outside under the table in the back, which was our refrigerator. So, but don't forget to use vertical space. You can't tell right now because they've all fallen off the walls because I overloaded them and then went down off-road trails with them. But these hanging baskets, these came from Fred Meyer or Walmart or something. They're really inexpensive. They have mounts to screw to the wall, and I had 3 of them on this wall right here, and I had 2 on the back cargo door. And then as you can see, I've got one, this one's falling down too because the tab broke off because my coats were too heavy for it. But I had these coat hooks on back there. There used to be one on the other side, but I moved it over to here. And then I've got sticky hooks in a few different places. Hang things high up. Use all that vertical space. The more vertical space you use, the more organized you can be, and the less cluttered you'll be. So that's my advice for anybody that's doing a trailer build out or a van build out or even an SUV. I had pretty much the exact same system as this set up in the back of the Jeep. I had all my gear on one side, and I had a bedroll that was just slightly narrower than this one. This is 40 inches, and I think the old mattress I had was 36 or 38, but on the other side. And then I would stuff my suitcases underneath the bedroll behind the front seats with the front seats pushed all the way forward when I was sleeping. And I did that solo, and when I was solo, I didn't even have a refrigerator. I had an ice box, and I put that up in the passenger side footwell. So and then the other thing I did in the Jeep for storage systems was I bought hanging nets, and I just hung them from the ceiling. I mean, the Jeep's got a couple of hooks in the back, and I just screwed in some more and added some more, and I hung hanging nets across the ceiling. I had one that went pretty much the whole length of the sunroof, and then I had one that went all the way down the passenger side in the back, and one that went all the way down the driver's side in the back, hung down, and I stored a lot of stuff in there. So, yeah, my advice is use all your vertical storage. And the other thing is that it does help to break things into smaller containers. Don't just dump everything in one bin. You know, try and separate it. If you have to use Ziploc bags, if you're using the Glad disposable Tupperware food containers, if you're using fancy stuff from Front Runner or ARB, whatever, if you can break things down into like items or sets in smaller packages, first of all, you'll be able to find things when you need them, but you'll use things more often because you can find them. So that's my tips for the day, and hopefully it'll be of use to somebody watching. As always, like, subscribe, and share.